Okay, we are live. So, if anyone joins the chat, let me know. Talk in the chat and you can ask me any questions. But we are going to be trading live every day. I'm going to be live streaming from 8:50 a.m. Eastern to 11 a.m. Eastern, and I'm actually going to do my best to stick to that schedule and actually do that every single day. I've noticed when I live stream, it's very sporadic. It's not consistent. That's not what I need to be doing if I'm going to be a good trader. If I'm going to be a good trader, I need to do it consistently every day, day after day after day. Repeat the same process over and over and over. Talk about the daily profiles, talk about what news we have, what's going on, talk about session highs and lows, true opens. Just in general, I need to have more structure to my trading, and so I'm really going to be taking it to the next level. So hopefully you guys enjoy this type of content. I'm excited to just keep getting better at trading with you guys. This is going to be an exciting journey. I hope to keep growing my subscribers, followers, and I hope to keep helping you guys as I get better too, because this is a process for both you guys and for me. So I will be live streaming every day for essentially the 2 hours and 10 minutes until New York session ends. So New York session goes from 8:30 to 11. So this is essentially this block of time that I just marked out. This is essentially New York's this is the New York kill zone. So you can look up the times for the different kill zones. ICT kill zones. And this is the same thing as just the sessions. They're the same thing. Actually, let me just pull up T-Trade's PDF and I'll show you guys. So, pulling it up real quick. If you guys have not checked out my new video yet, go watch it. I think it's my best video I've made yet. I'm super proud of it. And I think it really explains dodgy strategy well. I think I'm a little too close to the mic. Sorry about that. If that was like kind of loud and annoying, I didn't mean for that to happen. So, what was I saying? Oh, the video I made, I'm really proud of it. I think it explains dodgy strategy really well. So if you want to learn how to trade dodgy strategy, go check out that video that I made. So you're going to want to write this down if you have your notebook out or anything like that. Write this down in your notes. Asia's session is from 8 o'clock to midnight. London is from 2 to 5. New York AM is from 8:30 to 11. And New York PM is from 1:30 to 4. So you're going to want to write this down so you can mark out the sessions and mark out their highs and lows. If you can do that, you're going to have a way better understanding of the drawn liquidity and you're going to trade a lot better. So that's what I've been doing. You can see this works out. It gives you a really good understanding of where the drawn liquidity is. So, for example, this was Asia's session. What happened during London? We came down below Asia's low. This was today. Keep this in mind. This was Asia's low. We manipulate below Asia's low. What happens? We come back into the range, and then we target what? Asia's high. Almost. Exactly. Now, what I think is really interesting is what happened here. It looks like we left relatively equal highs with Asia's highs and London's highs. So that tells me something. That tells me maybe we're not coming back here today, but we're going to come back to these relatively equal highs at some point. And as well, There are relatively equal highs all throughout here. There's relatively equal highs here. There's relatively equal highs all above us, everywhere. So that tells me that the market is going to go back up at some point soon. But in the short term, what does it look like is happening? It looks like we're targeting, what is this? The previous day's low. So that looks like the draw on liquidity right now in the short term. It looks like previous day's low is the draw on liquidity. So let's take a look at the news. So we got today, Monday. Oh, we actually do have news. What the heck? I not realize we had news today. Today, yeah, September 16th, we have the Empire State Manufacturing Index and its medium impact. And that comes out at, it already came out. So it came out at 8:30. 6:30 my time. Did that make any impact? No, it didn't really do anything. So yeah, sometimes medium impact news just does not do anything. And that'll happen sometimes. So we need to figure out what kind of daily profile this is. It's critical we figure this out. If we figure out what kind of daily profile this is, our trading is going to be a lot better. Also, where did the previous? So this previous day's high. So if I go to the daily chart, this is the previous day's high. And it's also, since it was the high of the week, it was the previous week's high as well. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to get rid of this because it's starting to get overwhelming a little bit. So I only want Asia's highs, London's highs, and then I want New York's open. So New York open is at 8:30. So I'm going to draw this over. So here's the New York true open. New York true open. So if we're below the New York true open and below the daily open, we're in a discount. So this is the daily open, by the way. So that's what the 0-0 is. This is the daily open. Daily open. So yeah, we got these relatively equal highs all over. Let's figure out what daily profile it is. So we're going to pull up ICT daily profiles. I wonder if there's like a PDF we can use. We should also be looking at the charts in case we do get some kind of a trade. So I will keep my eyes out. Right now, I see this is the draw on liquidity. So it looks like we're going to previous day's low. I'll have to log back into my trading account. Hang on. Okay, so this is the draw on liquidity. So I'm going to get rid of this because I'm just going to have this line. Previous day's low. Draw on liquidity. So since we are bearish, because we're targeting previous day's low, we want to sell above the New York True Open. So it's important to note what kind of gaps we have. So this was a 5-minute fair value gap. This is a 15-minute fair value gap. I don't know if we're going to go back up there though. But yeah, I'm expecting this to be the draw on liquidity, and this is where we're going to go to. So, what was I going to say? Oh, daily profiles. Here are the main 4 profiles. So which one do you think this is? We have sell profile, market rallies from midnight until 2 a.m. Judas string be 1 to 2 standard deviations of a central bank dealer's range. I'm going to need to study up on the central bank dealer's range because that's something I'm still not great with, but I'm going to study on that. So central bank dealer's range. Yeah, I'm going to need to study up on these. I'm definitely going to need to study up on these. So let's look for previous hour's high, because that's kind of what I'm thinking needs to get swept. So this previous hour's high. Previous hour's high. And you have this 1 hour fair value gap. So that would be kind of what I would anticipate to happen for us to go lower, sweeping out that previous hour's high. Alright, so looks like we're forming, we're sweeping sell side over and over and over again. So we're forming high resistance liquidity, and this is all low resistance liquidity. So we're gonna run back through this low resistance liquidity at some point. I mean, this is clearly all low resistance liquidity. It's clearly generated liquidity. So we're gonna run back through this. It's just a matter of when. especially because we have equal highs here, we have equal highs here, and we have like equal highs all the way up there too. So we're gonna run back through this. It's just a matter of when. But I think this previous day's low would be a good area to sweep before we go run through it. Did we just leave equal highs? Right at the... We just rejected this New York True Open, but we also left equal highs. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Just relaxing. Let's see. Set up. So like I said, it seems like this is the draw on liquidity. So now we have this 1 minute fair value gap. Interested to see what happens here. If we inverse this, then we'll be on our way down to this draw on liquidity. Let's check for SMTs real quick. So we got a lower high here, lower high, okay, lower high, and then a lower high. So there's no SMT. And ideally, what are we waiting for right now? We want to wait for this macro from 9:50 till 11:10. This is the macro, and this is like the ideal time for our trade. Macro. Okay, we're holding this 1 minute fair value gap. So we swept sell sides. This is here. We got we got our 1 minute market structure shift. I would honestly, I'd say this is probably market structure shift right here. This isn't my model, so I'm just kind of just mapping things out. I'm not actually saying that that's like a good trade. I'm just mapping things out because once again, I'm bearish. I'm not gonna write this down because I don't want to confuse anyone. But yeah, I'm bearish, so I'm not gonna write anything down. But that it's just helpful to mark things out as you're getting better at trading and as you're learning. So looks like what I was saying is happening. So this isn't a trade I'm going to take, but just to show off kind of like what's possible to happen. When we inverse this fair value gap, what's likely going to happen? We're probably going to start dumping, right? Probably going to start dumping right now that we inverse this. So I'm expecting this drawn liquidity to get hit. So yeah, here's our inverse fair value gap. Let's just watch price action. I'm not taking this trade, by the way. I'm not taking this trade. Not enough confluences for me, and right now we are just observing price action and being observers of the market. But look what's happening. We're dumping. And where could you target? Previous day's low. So, what is this? A 4-to-1 risk-reward trade? Right now, I'm just being an observer of the market, and I'm getting better at calling price action. But you can see we already got, what is this? We're almost at a 1-to-1. But like I said, I'm not taking this because I want to wait for something a little higher probability. But this inverse fair value gap is giving me a little bit of bias. Because we also have this, like all this liquidity we are needing to run. But we might react off of this low. So, actually, I would not target that low. I would target this low. Probably going to react here. Once again, I'm not taking this. What is this? Is this? Yeah, you can see we're pushing back up into a 5-minute order block. 5-minute order block. Using this old bullish fair value gap as a confluence. Right now we're just being market observers. We're observing price action. Not doing anything, just getting better at trading. Just getting better at watching the market and watching where price wants to go in lifetime. But yeah, I see this as a drawn liquidity. Very interesting. Yeah, see, this wasn't high probability. guess let's get rid of this. I'm getting better with you guys every step of the way, so just gonna keep learning. But this previous day's low is where the drawn liquidity is. This is the drawn liquidity. But yeah, you can see why I didn't take this trade, because I just had no conviction that we had to go straight down when there's no SMT, there's low resistance liquidity above. It just doesn't make sense to take that. But yeah, look at how this. Look at how this. I'm gonna zoom in. Look at how this is high resistance liquidity. High resistance liquidity. And look how this is low resistance liquidity. What does this tell you? This tells you the market is gonna run through these highs at some point. I'm assuming not until it takes previous day's low. What happened to our New York True Open? Where? Let's bring that back. I don't know what happened to it. So yeah, since we're bearish, we wouldn't even consider taking this inverse fair value gap, because we're above the New York True Open right now. So that's another reason that it doesn't make sense. So what was this? Look at this. What was this? A sweep? I don't know why I didn't call this out in live time, but I should have. But this was an inverse fair value gap. I should have called this out in live time. So now I'm kind of feeling like, since this is low resistance liquidity, I feel like we're gonna run through these highs. That's my guess. This is high resistance liquidity. This is low resistance. High resistance liquidity. Sweep, 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 sweep. Here's our macro time. This is the ideal time we're looking for to take a trade, in between 9:50 and 10:10, or honestly in between 10 and 11. But yeah, it's nice to just chill out and watch price action. We've been on the charts for 30 minutes. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna get really good at just sitting through these 2-hour, 10-minute sessions, and I'm going to talk about price action live, and then in my market recap, I'm going to discuss what I was thinking, what I was wrong about, what I was right about, and every day I'm gonna get a little bit better. Every single day, I'm gonna get a little better. So. If you guys haven't, go like the videos I made today. I made 2 new TikTok videos, so go check those out. One of them I explained breaker blocks, and the other one I explain I talk about my new video on dodgy strategy. So more low resistance liquidity. More low resistance liquidity being made right now. We're generating so much low resistance liquidity. This is crazy. This is going to get ran at some point. This is crazy. So much low resistance liquidity. I'm assuming it's not going to get ran until we sweep previous day's low. So we're coming down to previous day's low. That's my guess. But holy smokes, dude. So much low resistance liquidity. This is ridiculous. Uh-oh. That's crazy. I wonder if we reacted off anything there. Look at this. This is a 15-minute order block. So I wonder, did we react off of this 15-minute order block? I was curious. Yes, dude. We did. Dang. That's crazy. So look at this 15-minute order block. We're pushing down after reacting off of this 15-minute order block. I'm going to get rid of this in just a second because but yeah, my model I trade is inverse value gaps. I just posted a video on it. I cover it in detail on how you trade it. So if you want to learn how to trade inverse value gaps, go watch that video. Or go watch Dodgy's YouTube channel. Watch literally any of his videos. He talks about inverse fair value gaps all the time. But yeah, look at how well we react off this 15-minute order block. Look at this. 15-minute order block. Push up into it. And now where are we going? Where did I say we were going? Previous day's low. This is where the drawn liquidity is. This is what I said from the beginning of the day. Previous day's low. That's drawn liquidity. So that's what we're looking to see swept. You can see this inverse fair value gap. It took us down to this swing low. So it wasn't wrong. It was right. It did what it was supposed to do. We closed below this inverse fair value gap, and what happened? We take out the swing low, so now we're gonna sweep that low and we're gonna react off of it. So the inverse fair value gap did its job. If you took this trade, it would be so tiny, but you could have taken this trade. I would not have taken it, but this would not have been a loss, right? Because this swing low, you would have been your take profit, and then your stop loss moved to break even. Your risk reward would have been absolute crap, but boom, take profit, stop loss to break even. The rest stopped out at break even. So that would not have been a loss. That would have been a win. So for anyone wondering, oh, you just called a loss out earlier, I definitely just called a win. This inverses took out this low, but like I said, this is not a trade that's not a trade that I would take ever because the risk reward is so bad, and there's just a million reasons why I would not take that trade. You got low resistance liquidity above you, high resistance liquidity below you. It just doesn't make sense. But I got another subscriber this morning, so whoever subscribed to me, thank you so much. It really makes me so happy to see people subscribe to me, to get more subscribers. And whoever followed me on TikTok this morning, thank you as well. I appreciate the small followers so much. And 68 subscribers, on our way to 100. What else was I gonna say? 2 people subscribed to me yesterday. Whoever those people are, thank you. but super appreciative. We're 32 subscribers away from 100, so that's super exciting. 32 away from 100. Look at this shirt. I like this shirt. I love shirts like this, like where the logo's in the top front and then the shirt it's got the logo on the back. It's pretty sweet. I like this shirt. It's Columbia. This is like my style of shirt right here. I love shirts like this. Just chilling, just watching, being a market observer, not doing anything, just being a market observer. Dude, every time I get a subscriber, it just makes me so happy, bro. Like, literally just waking up in the morning and just seeing my subscriber count go up by 1 is like so nice. So nice. Like, literally just getting 1 subscriber is like the most exciting thing. Can't wait to get 100. I gotta beat my Minecraft channel from 7 years ago. It's got like 150 subscribers on there. But I want to get to 1,000 subscribers. I think that'd be so cool. 1,000 subscribers would be epic. So look at this. We're finally starting to come up, possibly take out this low resistance liquidity. But once again, it's kind of like, well, are we going to go down to the previous day's low first? Or are we going to go and take out this low resistance liquidity first? It's like, I don't know, so I'm not going to try and guess. But like, this is previous hour's high, right? So I'm kind of thinking we could come up, sweep this previous hour's high. Because it makes sense if we go up, manipulate above the New York Open. Oh, we never discussed what kind of daily profile this is. So to me, this looks like a New York continuation type of day. So you get some kind of manipulation in London, and then distribution, and then New York manipulates, and then continuation, and that continuation would go down to previous day's low. So this isn't previous day's low. This was, I just accidentally marked that. We took that out? Wait, did we just take that out? Oh, we just took that out. What the heck? Dude, I was not looking. That's crazy. So, like, exactly what we said was going to happen. Oh, and you know what's even crazier? Look at how we reacted off the New York True Open. Look at that. Whoa. Whoa, that's crazy. Did I mark it out wrong? 8:30. Cause like that's crazy. 8:31, 8:30. I mean, this is as close as you can get, right? I could move it up here. I don't know. I think I marked it fine, right? I think I marked it fine. Good enough, you know. Do I mark it like this? Do I mark it like this? I don't know. It's fine. Anyway, look at how it went and pushed into the New York True Open and then went down to this strong liquidity. That's crazy. So we are targeting previous day's low like we said was going to happen. Previous day's low is in sight. And boom, previous day's low has been hit. The drawn liquidity has been hit. So now, what are we looking for? We're looking for, I guess technically we could keep going, but now that we've hit this previous day's low, it's like now that's our drawn liquidity has been hit. I don't necessarily have another drawn liquidity to the downside. I guess this previous day's low, this I'll mark this out, but I don't even know what to call this. Daily low? I don't know. Maybe shouldn't even be marking this out, honestly. I'm not going to mark it out. But you could see this is, so now we are in a, I guess this is not a fair value gap, is it? So it's a little interesting because if New York was going to do a continuation, then you would think, let's look at the daily profiles, right? If New York was going to do a continuation, then you would think that it would manipulate to the upside. We are going below the New York True Open, which just, it makes me feel like maybe this, I forget what this is called, New York reversal, makes you feel like, I don't know, why are we, what was I saying? Anyway, our drawn liquidity was hit, and oh yeah, this if it was going to do some kind of continuation, you would have thought, oh, why didn't it manipulate up here and then do them? Like, why did we go straight down? So that's something I'll cover in my recap, but it's like, what kind of daily profile was it today? I think in every daily recap, I should talk about what was the daily profile today. How could you have used the True Opens to detect that? But in this case, like, open here, like, I guess you could say this was the manipulation. Like, I guess. But is this really the manipulation? Because, I mean, that doesn't seem like that's the manipulation. So, I'll review this in my daily recap, but this is interesting. But we hit our drawn liquidity, and we are still dumping. Let's see what other liquidity we have. I mean, this is a giant fair value gap. This is a giant 15-minute fair value gap. So, curious what happens here, but in this fair value gap, like if we hold this fair value gap, then I could see us coming back and running through all this low resistance liquidity. But we'll see. So this, oh, look at this. We got this order block. Okay, this is good. This is good. We have this order block right here. And I think it's valuable to mark this out because this isn't even the right chart, and I'm going to need to start trading futures soon. But with TJR's prop firm that I use, I'm trading, technically I'm using their prop firm to trade the CFD version. So yeah, I don't know, but the order block looks like it's the same on both, so it looks like we're good. But you can see here there's a 4-hour gap. On NQ, there's a 4-hour gap. That is something to note. 4-hour fair value gap. We got this 4-hour fair value gap on NQ. 4-hour fair value gap. We have the same 4-hour. Okay, this is a 4-hour fair value gap on both. Okay, so what am I expecting What am I expecting to happen here? I'm expecting this 4-hour fair value gap and 4-hour order block to hold. At least hold some kind of reaction. So like possibly a push into here, and then because we're below the daily true open, we're below the New York open. Unless this is the draw on liquidity, but we got equal highs above. We got London and Asia forming equal highs. So this is a 4-hour gap. And once again, every day I'm getting better with you guys. So you can see, look, we're starting to react here. So this previous day's low got hit. So this was our draw on liquidity we talked about. It got hit. So we are inversing this back to the upside. If we close above this, I could definitely see us just continuing up from here and running through all this low resistance liquidity. So like theoretical trade, right? If this closed above, I mean, this is totally theoretical. I'm not taking this, but this would be a giant trade, but like 2-to-1 risk reward because we are pushing into this 4-hour gap. So this 4-hour gap, we're sweeping previous day's low. And then you're giving yourself some room to like possibly push into this order block more. But I'm not going to take that because this, I want to see, honestly, I want to see us push into this order block and sweep liquidity again. So look, we're respecting this gap. And there's an external gap here. So this wouldn't even be that great of a trade. So what I was talking about didn't really make sense. Plus, like, it just, we want to see some kind of like, we want to see something a little bit more higher probability than that. But you have this external gap and you have this 4-hour order block. I don't want to see some sweep. Well, I want to see an SMT. I'm curious, should we check if there was an SMT? We had 7 a.m. high. Oh, we got, is this equal highs? They're kind of close. Yeah, so on the S&P we got equal highs. So this is important to mark out, just to mark out. S&P we got equal highs. So we swept previous day's low. We're sweeping previous day's low right now. We're pushing into this 4-hour gap. We have the 4-hour order block below. The macro's coming up. We're below the New York True Open. It seems like the manipulation right now is to the downside. So, we've got relatively equal highs. Looks like we're holding this gap. Once again, we are observers of the market. I have not taken a single trade. We are just watching price action. The market swept this previous day's low, draw on liquidity. We're just talking about everything that's going on. What is this? Why did I mark this out? Previous hours high. Yeah, we're not sweeping that. We're going to get rid of that. No point in having that. So, yeah, looks like right now the manipulation is to the downside. I want to see some kind of internal sweep, possibly of this low into this order block. And then during the macro, maybe inverse back to the upside. And then eventually take out all this low resistance liquidity and go back up to these, to Asia and London's relatively equal highs. So eventually take out all this low resistance liquidity. But I was totally right about the previous day's low being the draw on liquidity, and we totally went straight there. We totally went there. It's clearly the draw on liquidity. So we are looking like we are inversing this gap, maybe, but there's an external gap here. This could go straight up, so this is inversing. Hard to say. This isn't like super high probability, but it's not low probability either. We could go up, but I would prefer to see us come back down and sweep this low. So we're gonna possibly close above here, but we have not closed above yet. And every day I'm gonna be on the charts from 8:50 to 11. The New York kill zone. I'm just gonna sit through it. I'm just gonna hold myself to it, and every single day I'm going to watch price action. So looks like we possibly are gonna get this close above. So now, I'm not taking this. Once again, I'm not taking this, but possible trade you could take. Especially because the macro is coming up. So if this closes above, once again, we have not closed above. I don't really know what I'm saying. I guess you could target this like a 2-to-1, or if you're crazy, you could target this. You get like a 5.28 to 1. If you're crazy. Personally, I want to see this 3-minute gap inverse. So yeah, you could take this, whatever. I want to see this 3-minute gap inverse. This is the gap that I want to see inverse, and then I will take this 3-minute inversion back to the upside. This is the 3-minute inverse. 3-minute. We want to see this 3-minute inverse for value gap. But you can see we pushed down below this previous day's low into this 4-hour gap. We're holding the gap. And if this 3-minute were to inverse, then I would take it. But once again, I honestly want to see some kind of like sweep into this order block and form an SMT. That would be awesome. So if we do close above this 3-minute gap, I will take this, but I'm ideally waiting for it to come back down, sweep this low, form an SMT, and then, what just happened? How did it just disappear like that? So yeah, like I said, this isn't like ideal. What I'm waiting for is I want to see some kind of sweep into this order block, and then macro time, rockets us up. So maybe like push down in here, and like later on in the macro we start to move. So interesting, but this is interesting, but we're getting an inverse to the downside after sweeping this sell side or buy side liquidity. It's tiny inverse for value gap. I don't know if this is gonna do anything, but it's worth noting. That didn't do anything. Yeah. So yeah, if this 3-minute inverses, I will take this. Stop loss, honestly, just below the gap a little bit. But yeah, I think this is a fair draw on liquidity. London and Asia are relatively equal highs. So when this inverses, that would be my target. Yeah, so we're heading into the macro. So this seems pretty high probability. So if this 3-minute inverses, that's my entry. But I don't want to see this high get taken out at the same time. So I want to see us close, but still be below this high here. And we'll see if we get it. But yeah, I strictly trade inverse for value gaps. I know I've taught other concepts on my YouTube channel and on my TikTok, but you gotta stick to one model, and you gotta become an expert at it, and you gotta get really, really good at it. Switching between models all the time, it's not gonna turn you profitable. So I stick to inverse for value gaps. Down the road, when I get eventually when I get way better, then maybe I could start trading other models as well. But I'm really sticking to inverse for value gaps because if you want to get good at trading, you need to master one model, and you need to know the ins and outs of it. If you want to get good at trading, you need to master one model and know the ins and outs of it. So 20 seconds till the candle close. So far, we have not closed above, but we will see what we get. once again, we want this close to happen, but we don't want it to take out this high. So we'll see if we get it. Because it's possible we come up and then we just run straight past it and we close above the high. At that point, I'm not taking this trade. So I'm being disciplined. If that happens, I'm not taking this trade. It needs to be specifically a 3-minute close above this 3-minute fair value gap, but not above this high, this internal high right here. And stop loss to break even after this internal high. That's critical. Critical after this internal high gets hit, stop loss to break even. That's critical. Critical. That's a must in the trade. If we take this trade, we need to move stop loss to break even after this internal high. Okay, this is like the minute of truth right here. If we can close above but not close above this internal high, we're good. Moment of truth. We got 1 minute to see if we can get this. How's the 2-minute doing? 2-minute, possibly about to inverse. Yeah, very specific conditions here. This 3-minute needs to close above, but it can't kick out this internal high. And we have not closed above yet. So, once again, it's possible that we come back down and we go down to this order block. It is possible. We are patiently waiting. Now we have to wait another 3 minutes. Dude, I wish I had like some snacks or something. Well, we want to see it close above, but not close above the internal high. Oh, shoot. We're really close to that internal high. So we have 2 minutes to not close above this internal high. We'll see if we close above it or not, but we're not gonna enter on fear of missing out. Looks like we're hitting the internal high, so we're not gonna take it. Dang it. See, I'm telling you, I've been right about everything that's happened so far. But yeah, we took the internal high, so no trade. We're reacting off of the internal high as well. But I have a feeling now we're probably gonna rip. Like we're probably gonna rip to the upside. Especially because this is the macro, right? Macro says a lot. Yeah, you can see we took that internal high, and now we're reacting off of it. But oh yeah, there we go. Here's the power of a macro right here. Look at, we're about to run all this low resistance liquidity. We're about to run all this low resistance liquidity. So how could we get a trade here? Shoot, I guess we could have entered off of this 1 minute inversion. Oh man, dang it, dude. Dang it. I was looking at the 3 minute. I didn't realize. Dang it. This was the entry, guys. This was the entry. Dang it. This was 100% the entry. This 1 minute inversion. This was the entry right here. Because there's not really an external gap. I mean, there's this, but I wouldn't really classify that as an external gap, right? So you had this 1 minute inversion. This honestly probably would have been fine. I will ask Dodgy about this later. We'll see what he says. Should we check his Discord? Let's check his Discord. I wonder if he said anything yet. But we are reacting off this high, so it's pretty fair that we did not enter this trade. In this 1 minute inversion, especially if we move stop loss to break even here, they might come back down and stop you out. So we'll just have to see. I wonder, where's previous hour's high? Let's just get rid of this because it doesn't really make sense. Macro. So look at this. Oh, this is interesting. Previous hour's high. Boom. Shoot, guys. Price might be bearish. Look at this. Previous hour's high. We sweep out previous hour's high. Yeah, that's so interesting. That's so fascinating. Look at how we swept out this previous hour's high. Wow. And we went and manipulated above the true open and above previous hour's high. That's crazy. So we might actually get the New York continuation thing. This is going to be interesting. Because, like, yes, we do have this low resistance liquidity, but it might leave it for later. It might leave it for later. Or it might run it now. I don't know. We are just market observers until we see something that we know with a high degree of confidence is going to play out. Anyone else? Let's see if anyone else liked my video or commented.
You got nothing.
Let's go. One more person liked my video. Thank you, Benji Time, for liking my video. Oh, my friend just messaged me. Voice message. That's cool. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what we're gonna do for trade recap today if we don't get anything. Like, I don't even know. Like, this woman inversion, maybe? But it's just, I mean, it's not super clear because I wanted this 3-minute to inverse and we did not get the 3-minute inversion. So, I mean, I don't know. This is something we'll have to ask Dodgy about if this is valid or not because I don't know. I don't know if this would be valid, but maybe. We'll have to ask him. I'm curious. But it looks like we swept. So this is something we are going to. I'll just remember it for later. That could be the trade of the day. Oh, shoot. We're coming back down. Okay. So, swept previous hour's high. Swept New York True Open. Manipulated above it. So we got this 30-second inversion. But the inversion took out this internal low, so not valid. Kind of feels like this is possibly whatever it's called, inducement. You guys should check out that ICT concept. I learned about it yesterday. I don't know, man. I don't know. Dude, is ICT gonna win the Robins this year? We'll see. But I pretty much called out everything that's happened today, which is pretty cool. But in our weekly outlook, we said that we think that we are going to trend higher this week because of these equal highs, because of these equal highs, because of these equal highs. So we'll see if that happens. So yeah, like I said, this could be inductment. Looks like we're about to run this low resistance liquidity then. We're market observers, and every day we are getting better by watching the market. But yeah, it kind of looks like a buy model, honestly. That's probably confusing. Because I guess we got this manipulation below the New York True Open. I guess, I don't know, you could kind of call that either one, honestly. Manipulation either way. So we got a low, a high, lower low, higher high. This is like a breaker block a little bit. I'm not taking this. I'm just curious how this is gonna react here. I've noticed some people draw like this. Some people draw like this, and I'm gonna have to figure out. Oh, whoops! Some people draw like this, and some people draw like this. I'm gonna have to figure out which I like better. But let's get rid of the macro. So, just for fun, I'm gonna line out this breaker block trade to see what would happen. Just for fun. I'm not taking this because I don't trade breaker blocks, but I'm curious. I'm just practicing. Just practicing. Just getting better. Just being a market observer. Now we could actually get an inverse for value up here, so I should probably lock in and look at this. I don't really want. I don't want to. I don't really want to take a 30-second trade. I'd rather. I've been on the charts for an hour and a half. If I'm gonna be on the charts for an hour and a half, I want to take. I want to take a trade on the 1 minute, preferably or higher, because I don't know. Sitting on the charts for an hour and then taking a trade on the 30-second and then having it not work just sounds not fun. If I'm gonna be here for 2 hours, I'd rather take a trade on the 1 minute because I've been here for an hour and a half. Yeah, dude, I don't know about that breaker block. I don't think that was that good because we didn't really get a market structure shift after that breaker block. I'm gonna have to look up if that's required or not. If you need to get a market structure shift for a breaker block to be valid, I don't know. It's important though to know that it's only specific breaker blocks that work. Specific breaker blocks. Let's check for SMTs. So we just got this SMT. It's on the 1 minute. I don't know. I'm not trusting a 1 minute SMT, honestly. Yeah, I wouldn't take this one. This is too small of a gap. I wouldn't take it. I don't know. I'm curious. See what Dodgy would think of this, but I don't think this is good. We were right about this 4 hour fair value gap holding though. I think I said something about that, how that 4 hour fair value gap in this order block would probably support price, and it did. Actually, this might be fine. Yeah, I think this is good. I don't know though, I wasn't looking at the chart. So stop loss to break even at this high. And what are we targeting? We are targeting, honestly, I'm just going to target up here. Because those are the equal highs. So stop loss to break even after this internal high gets hit. And it's essentially, if we can get above this internal high, it's essentially a risk-free trade. So yeah, if we get above this internal high, it's risk-free. Right now, we'll see what happens. But you can see we're below the true day open. And I'm kind of anticipating a reversal to take out these equal highs. We got this 1 minute order block. I'm wondering. I'm gonna ask Dodgy. I'm wondering if we're supposed to move stop loss to break even at this high. Like, is this the internal high you need to take stop loss to break even at, or is this the internal high to move stop loss to break even at? Because it's critical to know. So I'm gonna ask him later. I'll ask him later. I think this trade was fine. I think this trade is fine. If this doesn't work out, I'm not mad. Because, like, clearly there's low resistance to liquidity. Clearly this is a buy model. Clearly we respected the 4-hour fair value gap. Clearly we swept the previous day's low. Clearly we reacted off of it. Clearly we inversed this 3-minute fair value gap right here. Clearly there's low resistance liquidity. Clearly we're below the true day open. This looks like a buy model. This inversion looked nice. We didn't hit this internal high that was like so particularly placed where it didn't hit the internal high. I feel like everything is set up for this trade to work out. So I'm not really mad if it doesn't, honestly. I'm fine if it doesn't. But I will talk to Dodgy and I'll ask him how I could have made it better. My stop loss on my chart is actually down here. So my stop loss is down here. So I don't know why it didn't have it marked at the same spot, but my stop loss is down here. Dude, this is so stupid. I mean, I can't be mad. It's fine. Okay. I got stopped out. Dude, I'm on stupidest losing streak. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna ask him. Cause you know what? If I move my stop loss to break even here like I should have, then this should have been a break even trade. So let's ask him. Let's ask him right now. Cause this should not have been a loss, honestly. Let's ask him. This is important. I'm asking him right now, guys. I'm asking him right now. So we're gonna figure out if this was a good loss or if it was bad. Okay, guys, I just sent him a message. So I will still be watching the charts until 11. We'll see what he says. Dude, I feel like that had to be just a bad loss. I mean, that was a good loss because I mean, it was a buy model. There's low resistance liquidity. We're below the true day open. So I'm curious to see what he says, but I'll get back to you guys on that. I'll probably make my trade recap on this trade because it's important to show my losses too. Because how else am I gonna get better? You know. So I will show this trade, but that's crazy. That's like I feel like that's so unlucky. So I think it could have been what we were talking about before, where it's just one of those days where it leaves this low resistance liquidity for another time. Like, we're coming back to this low resistance liquidity, but not now, but later, you know. Staying on the charts, dude. I'm getting better at this. I know I'm getting better. This is some of these losses are so ridiculous. Like, that was fine, honestly. That was fine. I'm not even mad. I think that was fine. We'll see what Dodgy says. I'm not even mad at that. I can't be upset about that. That was fine. I mean, genuinely. The only thing that I should have done differently was probably had my stop loss to break even at this internal high. That's the only. But the thing is, it just makes it like so less likely that you're gonna get the trade to run. But I don't know. I will see what he says, honestly. Because in my opinion, I feel like I'd rather do it at this high. We'll see what he says. Dude, losses are a part of trading. I'm getting better. I really am. That was crazy. That was a crazy loss, honestly. So, I guess it's another one of those days where it's like we kind of want to see some kind of external sweep, and especially because this order block did not get hit. So maybe this is a New York continuation type of day. What's down here? Oh, this is the 4-hour order block. Okay. But you guys saw me call everything in live time up until that trade. Like, I called everything. Called the previous day's low as a drawn liquidity. Boom, got hit. Then I said, oh, this fair value gap's gonna hold. Then it held. Then we came back up here, and the only thing I was wrong about was us running this low resistance liquidity. I'm getting better at this. I know I'm getting better. I think part of it is I have to think about it like this. I know there's equal highs. I know that the next week, weekly range is going to run through all this low resistance liquidity on the daily time frame, right? We have all this low resistance liquidity on the daily time frame. And so if this is expected to be the case, then Monday is probably going to be bearish for most of the day. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but you know what happened? You know what did happen? It's kind of interesting. If I was just bearish, then I was bearish until we respected this 4-hour gap, right? So we respected this 4-hour gap, pushed back up, and I should have stayed bearish. I should have assumed. It's so obvious now looking back at it, because if you think about what happened, it was a New York continuation day, right? So we had manipulation, distribution, and then if it's continuation, what's going to happen? It's going to manipulate in New York above the true open, manipulated above the true open. This was the manipulation. You see how this is the true open? This is the manipulation right here. This is the manipulation, right? So we're purposely leaving this low resistance liquidity for later this week or next week. We're leaving this low resistance liquidity here on purpose. See how this purposely manipulated above the New York true open? See that? It's a New York continuation type of day because so first we target previous day's low, sweep previous day's low, react off the 4-hour gap. Then New York continuation day. So what happens? Manipulate above the New York true open, and now we are distributing deck down. So honestly, if I draw out standard deviations, this is the final manipulation. You can see this is the 2 to 2.5 area, and then, dude, it's so obvious in hindsight. It's so obvious. So obvious in hindsight. Notice this breaker block here. high, low, higher high. Oh, that's the thing I forgot to mention about breaker blocks, dude. I forgot to mention this about breaker blocks. Breaker blocks, they're only valid when they sweep some kind of external. I forgot to say this in the video. Dang it. They're only valid when you sweep some kind of external liquidity. So the internal liquidity, it needs to sweep external liquidity too. So I guess this might have been an external high. This might have, dude, I'm losing it. This, so look at this. High, low, higher high. That swept some external liquidity. Higher high that, so high, low, higher high that sweeps external liquidity, lower low. So this is a bearish breaker block, so you highlight the red candle, right? Here's the breaker block. Holy crap. You see that? You see that? That's how you trade a breaker block. That's how you trade a breaker block right there. This is the breaker block entry. And we just hit that order block. That's crazy. So the breaker block, the key about a breaker block is it needs to sweep. It needs to sweep some kind of external liquidity. That's so important. The breaker block needs to sweep some kind of external liquidity. That's crazy. The breaker block needs to sweep some kind of external liquidity. Anyway, might make this be the trade of the day, honestly. Because high, low, high, low, higher high, lower low, breaker block. Yeah, honestly, this is the trade of the day because that's crazy. That's so cool. Like, I can't make this up. I can't make this up. Like, I took a losing trade today, but guys, you have to realize this stuff works. Like, what? This breaker block was perfect. So now we're getting a 30-second inversion. I'm curious if that'll work. This breaker block entry is crazy, though. This is crazy. So this, we're about to get a 1-minute inversion here. So this would be a good trade because you're going off of this 1 hour order block, right? This would be a good trade. And we took out this internal high, so it's not really a good trade anymore. Yeah, see how we took out this internal high and we didn't inverse this, so this is not good. Now, honestly, we're probably bearish. I don't know. But this breaker block trade is pretty cool. So you can see we manipulated above the New York True Open, and then breaker block, and then boom, down to this low. This is like, I feel like this is the type of trade Hydra would take. Alright, and yeah, in the daily recap today, we're going to talk about how this was a New York continuation day. Clearly this is New York continuation. So the good trade will be this 1 minute inverse back to the downside. This will be the trade that you want to take. you get this. I'll let you guys know what Dodgy says when he responds to me. Guys, I know I'm getting better. There's no way. There's no way I'm not getting better. Every day I'm getting a little better. Every single day I'm getting a little better. I know it. But like, dang, that... The trade also you could have taken was this 1 minute inversion, right? You could have taken this 1 minute inversion. This would have been a trade as well. So you had that breaker. If I had the bias a little bit more right, if I realized this is the manipulation, then I would have got this trade, right? So it's just a matter of perspective. Like, yes, there's low resistance liquidity here, but we were leaving it for later. It's so crazy. I feel like I'm getting so much better. It's 2 different trades you could take. This will be what I talk about in the trade recap. I'm curious what Dodge is gonna say about that stop loss to break even thing. I'm curious what he'll say. But both of these trades are good. What are these? Like 3.6 to 1? That's crazy. Both of these were 3.6 to 1. That's crazy. So yeah, for a breaker block to be valid, this is so important. For a breaker block to be valid, it has to sweep some kind of external liquidity. You see how you have a low, a high. So this red candle by itself is a high and a low, right? So high, low, higher high, lower low. So it swept this external liquidity. I don't even know what to call that. Internal, external, whatever. I don't care. So notice this is kind of like a TGR type setup where you have liquidity sweep, break structure. I guess we didn't break structure here, so it doesn't really work. But yeah, this is kind of like a TGR setup where you get like liquidity sweep, break structure, Order block. And watch us start to just run straight higher after this. Did we form an SMT? No, we did not. Okay. I was about to say. I don't know. I think it was a fine loss, but I don't know. I think it was fine. Yeah, man. I'm gonna. I mean, I feel like I'm profitable, but sometimes I'm like, take trades like that. I'm like, I don't know, man. I think sometimes you just take losses. Like, you sometimes just go on losing streaks. Like, I'm just on a losing streak. I don't know. Like, I just want to hop off the charts now because I'm mad. But I gotta just stay disciplined. I don't know. One trade a day, max. Sometimes you don't want to take any trades. Like, I think that was fine. I think that trade was fine. We'll see what Dodgy says. Okay. I need to learn the difference between what an internal high and an external high is, because I feel like I'm teaching people wrong. I need to get better at that. That order block did not hold, bro. So holding this 3-minute fair value gap here. I guess we're coming back up now. One con of this trade is, yes, it's below the true day open, but it's above the New York true open. So was it the most high probability trade I could have taken? Not necessarily. Here we're getting a 3-minute inverse fair value gap. This seems like a good setup. This seems like a really good setup, honestly. This is the setup I should take. Dude, I'm not taking another trade. I already lost. But this is the trade you should take if you haven't taken a trade yet. If this 3-minute closes above, I would literally target London and Asia highs because this is so high probability. We're below New York true open. We're below daily open. This is the trade you gotta take right here. This is the trade. This is the trade. Because what happened? Think about what happened. We held this 4-hour gap. It's gone now, but there was a 4-hour gap, and we push into this 4-hour order block, and we sweep into this 4-hour order block. So we do one final manipulation on the higher time frame into this 4-hour order block. It's like almost perfect how this happened, right? So look at this. Look at this. The 4-hour fair value gap holds. The 4-hour fair value gap holds. And the 4-hour order block holds. I mean, look at this. 4-hour order block, 4-hour fair value gap. You see that? 4-hour fair value gap, 4-hour order block. What happens? The 4-hour fair value gap holds. Then this is a low time frame manipulation above the New York True Open, then distributes down. So what is this? Okay. All right, we're gonna talk about this from a power of 3 standpoint, right? Accumulation, manipulation into the 4-hour value gap. Below the true open. Distribution to above the New York true open. And I wonder if this, oh yeah, right. Remember when I was like, oh, we swept previous hour's high? Remember when I said we swept previous hour's high and it was like to the tick? Remember when I said that? Boom. We sweep previous hour's high to the tick. I cannot make that up. Previous hour's high, right? Sweep previous hour's high. And then retracement back to this order block. So my guess is, since this is 11 o'clock, we're about to do an 11 o'clock reversal, and we're about to run, 11 o'clock reversal. Once we inverse this, we're about to run back up to Asia and London and take out these relatively equal highs. That's my guess. So we're below the New York True Open, we're below the Daily Open. We're sweeping this low into the 4-hour order block. Once we inverse this, running back up to essentially London highs and Asia highs, because they're relatively equal highs, and there's relatively equal highs up here and up here. So that's crazy though. Previous hour's high got swept like that. That's crazy. So the idea, the trade of the day, right? Trade of the day. This previous hour's high getting swept, and then being above the New York True Open, the trade of the day, and then this breaker block. This is the trade of the day. This is so good, dude. Target is this 4-hour order block. You see this? This is what happens when you watch price action the whole session. You get an idea, you get a better idea of what's going on. Like, I feel like by actually sticking around, sitting through this whole thing, I've gotten so much better. So this break block, boom, boom, boom. That's not what I was looking for. This breaker block. Retest this breaker block. That's not my model, but what is my model is this 1 minute inversion back to the downside. It's like I could have taken this. So I gotta figure out why this inversion is better than this inversion. Probably because, I don't know, high resistance liquidity, low resistance liquidity on the low time frame. Alright, we got 1 minute left. 1 minute left of watching these stupid charts, dude. I'm getting so sick of this. But I'm doing it because I'm getting better at the most powerful skill to learn in the world. Once I master it, I'm gonna help change people's lives. That's the goal. Once I master it, I'm gonna help as many of you as possible. And we're going to get better at this together. And I think that's a good place to end it because it is 11 o'clock Eastern. So Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see if this prediction comes true where we push into this 4-hour order block, if we come back up and run back to these highs, or if we continue lower. To be honest, we could continue lower. I wouldn't even be surprised, but I feel like this 4-hour order block might hold. So I guess we'll see. And we're going to keep getting better day after day after day. So I hope you enjoyed this live stream, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.